This is the video where, before I go into talking to you about what would be expected in year 3, I would like to cover with you what are some of the unknowns still at this point. The unknowns can be very disconcerting to any of you, even though this is just our practice year, because there were many things that were supposed to have been completed, or at least understood by this point in the year 2012, early March. One of those areas was, what is an effective teacher based on this evaluation that we're using, this instrument that we're practicing on? What kind of a score is required in order for you to be considered an effective teacher? What kind of a score are they going to be using next year if this same basic evaluation form is used? Well, guess what? Don't know. To this very day, early March 2012, I do not know what to tell teachers who say, what kind of a score do I have to get to be considered an effective teacher who would be earning the rewards during the 3rd, 4th, or 5th year, as described by people from the county under the REIL grant? Cannot answer that question, unfortunately. Now, as you all know, that the scores that you can get for each of the elements on the evaluation is anywhere from 1 to 5. One thing that I guess we know is that the evaluators are expected to give you a score for each of the elements on the instrument, which I believe are 16. Excuse me if I'm off by 1 or so, but I believe it's 16 on the actual instrument. Yes, they do give a score of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. We don't know what the total amount needs to be on the average for you to be considered an effective teacher. Hopefully we're really close to getting an answer on that one. I've been asked by many people, I heard that if I receive a 2 on one element that I would not qualify for any reward money once that starts, which would not be till next year. I do not know the answer to that. I do believe that a 4 would basically cancel out a 2 and make the average a 3, but we just have not been given specific enough information. So we will probably be going into our voting day without being able to answer that question. If we do get an answer to that question, we will make another video as quickly as possible and to provide answers to that question. Another thing that people are wondering about is, what about the student progress portion, where at least 1/3 of your total evaluation score, whatever that may be in any given school district around the state, in the year 2012-13 is supposed to be related to student progress. I believe we would be pretty far ahead of that curve if we were just simply preparing for ARS 15-203, but being part of the grant and being involved in working with other districts around the state, we are following their lead, the county's lead, and I really don't have a lot of answers that I can give you about where we stand related to the student progress portion. However, I can tell you this, things are happening. For example, we sent 3 different people from our district to facilitator training for performing arts, visual arts, and PE. They were trained over a period of 2 or 3 days to be facilitators of content committees in which teachers would then get together and start developing questions as part of assessments that would be used to measure student progress. Under those 3 areas, performing arts, visual arts, and PE, there has also been another training in which, not training, but committee meetings in which 22 or 23 of teachers in our district actually started working on written assessments in those 3 areas. We also have sent 4 social studies teachers to facilitator training for world history, U.S. history, U.S. government, and economics, along with the content specialist, and that has been completed. So in the very, very near future, there will be additional training, additional committee meetings for social studies teachers in any of those 4 areas who would like to participate in the development of what the written assessment portion would be to measure student progress when we get to next year. Now, right now, it looks like it's very, very possible that school districts who are not ready to start integrating student progress into their total teacher evaluation will probably not have to do that during next school year, even though that's currently what the law says. So hopefully we'll have an extra year of time to really get prepared for that. So what you need to do now is just really keep your eyes open as long as we are still involved with REIL, or even if we were not involved with REIL, we will continue to work on the development of content committees where all teachers in all of the different areas will eventually be asked if they would like to participate in developing the student progress portion of your evaluations. Yes, it's really hard to keep track of all this stuff, and you can feel free to write to me at edwardbufford@aol.com or Bufford, Edward on Outlook, or the newer president, Paul Lowes, Lowes, Paul on Outlook as we move into the next school year. But the important thing right now is that if you have any questions, just make sure that you write, watch these videos, and get as educated as you can as to what is going on legislatively and what is going on regarding our participation with the grant, because things are changing very rapidly for you, and it's very important that you stay informed. That's what my attempt is with these videos. So that's where we are right now. Those are the unknowns, and the next video will be about year number 3 in REIL. See you later.